Welcome to Sudbury Stories. Sudbury's full of amazing individuals that are doing some incredible things making this city a better place. My goal to get the good word out about local stories to Sudbury and highlight those individuals like Amanda that are having the impact of making Sudbury a better place.
Correct response. What is my hometown, Sudbury, Ontario?
Prior to founding Amanda Berloni Professional Corporation, Amanda practiced at Canada's leading standalone corporate finance law in Toronto. Amanda helped companies of different sizes of industries with formations, restructurings, mergers, and acquisitions. She was also seconded to Aquis Innovations Incorporated, the parent company between Canada's new National Stock Exchange. Amanda was excited to come back to Sudbury and follow in the footsteps of her grandfather, who was a very well-known lawyer in Sudbury as well. She's helped numerous clients establish and strengthen their roots in the North. And I'm happy to have her on today to kind of chat about the changes that COVID is bringing to the law industry in Sudbury and how some of those changes being made are allowing people to close deals virtually. So without further ado, let me get into the interview with Amanda.
Okay, sounds good.
Perfect. So great to have you, Amanda. Thanks for joining us today. And obviously you're one of the busier lawyers out there, especially in the real estate. Like you probably are the real estate lawyer in Sudbury. So you are we're just a few short weeks ago we were in a pre-COVID world, and now we're in a post-COVID world, and we need to take COVID precautions. And at least for the moment, real estate's been deemed essential. And who knows how long we will be continuing to deem essential. But at the moment, we've got the green light to continue work. Although continuing work is by no means as business as usual. From our perspective, we've minimized in-person meetings. I haven't taken one in-person meeting in the last 3 weeks. Interactions between the real estate agent and their actual clients has been kind of reduced. We're dealing virtually as we need to, kind of thing. But the biggest part of the transaction actually happens at closing, and that's the legal handling of the transfer of deed and the monies and all that stuff at the lawyer's office. So that's you.
That's us. Yeah.
And you guys put through a lot of business, and you would have hundreds of people in a week, I'm guessing. Maybe even
maybe not hundreds, but hundreds certainly who just are used to popping in and out of this office, whether
checks or
for a meeting, picking up commission checks or personal checks, or coming in to get their reports. There are people in and out of here all the time, and now our door is locked, and there's a very nice sign for clients. You have to essentially call and either make an appointment or let us know you're coming, and we take the necessary precautions.
Yeah.
Because as you can see, I am in the office.
Is it just you? Is it your whole staff that's with you right now, or who's in the office right now?
Not my whole staff. Those who can work remotely are. My receptionist is here, and a couple of my assistants, but in our office, everyone has their own office. So everyone is social distancing all the time. They have their own space, and that's how we not operate on a normal basis and an everyday basis, because everyone has their own offices. But so we're taking social distancing very serious. When it comes to clients, we're now, like you, I haven't seen anyone in a very long time. It feels like
other than on camera.
Than on camera, yes. My cell phone, I will be changing my number after this whole thing is over, because nobody calls the office anymore. They purely rely on my cell phone, because that is the medium I use to FaceTime or Zoom. WhatsApp video. I've tried Facebook Messenger video. It doesn't work very well. Skype was always an option. And
so walk me through it though. So typically I just closed a deal with you not long ago, and we go in 3 days before closing. We have a meeting, we sit down, we sign paperwork. My actual 3 kids were in the office, and it was chaos. So
chaos,
chaos.
Great chaos, but chaos.
But chaos. So now people cannot physically go in and meet with you, right? And yet you still have to close deals.
So here's the Law Society has said that we can now meet with people virtually. So we send everybody the documents, okay, via email. They're expected to print the documents. We have a very detailed letter of instruction that goes with that. And then Dina, my receptionist, books a virtual appointment with them where I watch them sign the documents and verify their ID. So they have to show me 2 pieces of ID. And then so I can see it. And then I ask them to either send me a picture of it via email, or they can text it to me, or if they want to make a copy of it and print it out for me. Most people choose not to do that. If they can just text me a picture, then that's my ID verification. I do miss meeting with clients. So it was one of the best parts of my job. And
you're a social person. And
I'm a social person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like you feed off people's energy. And now that the fact that you have to be social distance and you have people in the office that you can't even be close to, and like you can't have that interaction.
You try to shake people's hands electronically and you can't. And I have great clients, and so much of what I loved about my job was being able to meet them in person. I have clients who, before they leave, were so excited that you used to get hugs, and now you really feel the disconnect, and it's something that I'm not used to and something that I'm actually missing a lot.
Yeah, well, it's completely understandable. Like it's a different world we're in right now. In my mind, I was like, there was a kind of a time a couple of weeks ago. I'm like, is this going to be like a 1 month thing where we can just kind of put life on hold? But it doesn't look like that's the case. It looks like it's going to be something that's going to be months and months before we get sorted out. And I think, like you said, there is some good that this is going to force us to it's forced us to find the inefficiencies in the process right now. And if there's a ways that we can improve this and maybe continue doing that, post a COVID world, then that's going to be, we'll be able to take a few points of promise and bring that into the future as well. So
if that is the bright side to all of this, which I think is all people can really hope for right now, right? Look for a silver lining in all of this. I think you're right. It's allowed us to find some of the kinks in the chains and maybe get out of past practices that were, I don't want to say archaic, but that could have been moved forward. So there are certainly a couple of changes that I hope will stick, but I'm very much looking forward to being able to meet my clients and shake their hands again.
Get those hugs.
And get those hugs. I'm a hugger.
Yeah. Fantastic. Anything else you want to say, or anything else you want to tell that buyers or sellers or realtors out there that give us a little bit of knowledge?
I would just say stay safe, and now it's more important than ever to be as diligent as possible. So things like rush closings, which used to be something that would happen all the time, it is a different world right now. Take your time, make sure you're comfortable and understand what it is that you're buying, especially if you're doing something virtually, your home inspections, relying on the advice of your realtors, and just taking the time to make sure that you're getting exactly what you bargained for. Diligence now is more important than ever, and just to be very careful to make sure that the house, which is the biggest purchase you're probably ever going to make in your life, right?
Yeah,
is
at least
one
for
that
10 years.
Exactly.
The upgrade or whatever,
Is one that you want. Also be careful about things, and this is a part, I would say, of the diligence process, to make sure your financing institution is on board with the home that you're buying. Making sure that your ducks are in a row now more than ever is very important.
Yeah. So it's almost like, because we've heard from bankers where they're like, don't have an extra long closing, because who knows if that person's like, if the bank's going to change their rules or around financing and things like that. But at the same time,
or people might be laid off, right? People's employment positions are precarious right now, and you never know when a lending institution is going to pull their financing, how long that commitment is. I'm not talking about months and months. I'm talking about not the 5-dayers, right? Where you wave and 5 days later you want to close.
Yeah,
Maybe give it a couple of weeks.
I may have been guilty of that a few times in the past, of calling you up and being like, Amanda, do you think you could handle this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need a favor.
Yeah.
Every time I hear those words, I cringe. Like, oh, here we go again. But you
Avoid
know
this
what? I'm actually missing that too. If in the summertime people are happy to do that, it's just everything takes a little bit longer right now. Everything
I'm
just
sure,
takes a little bit longer.
I'm sure you've ordered lots of printers for clients and stuff like that to Amazon Prime to get the documents printed in. There's been a lot of pickup.
Go find a friend. Go to your office if you can. People, here's what I've also learned though, that when that's the option that's being presented to people, everyone's been really great about finding a way to get it done.
Yeah.
So
and
I
actually,
have to thank my clients for that, because I know a lot of them, like me, would prefer to just come into my office, meet with me, have me go through everything that I've already printed for them. But they're being wonderful in helping me find a solution, which, I think ultimately helps them get their home or sell their home. But they've all been really great, and so far really understanding of this new world that we're living in.
I think if we cycle back, it's we're allowed to operate. It's just not business as usual, and we have to figure out what that looks like right now. And you're obviously doing a fantastic job at that. So awesome! Thank you so much for being part of this today. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. And
I'm going to wave to you electronically. I'll shake to you electronically.
Sounds good. Okay, thanks again.
Stay
Amanda.
safe, Dave.
Okay.
Bye.
Correct response. What is my hometown, Sudbury, Ontario,